Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So let's go over part 2 of my upgrade strategy for maxing out your character from 0 to hero. From starting out fresh in the game all the way to max item level of about 80,000. Again, the goal for this upgrade strategy is to get your item level as high as possible so you can access certain queues and also certain locked content that is gated behind a requirement of item level. Otherwise, gear optimization is definitely a thing. You want to be picking the right gear for your character, you want to be picking the right companions, the right mounts, and I would highly recommend checking builds. Now initially you want to start your grind so you can reliably earn at least that 100,000 astral diamonds every day, so you can refine those rough astral diamonds into normal astral diamonds, which then you can use on the auction house to buy items from other players. So the first bonus step you need to do to move on from the previous video is head to the seals vendor and actually go and purchase the rings that are down in the bottom here. Again, picking the ones that are best for your class and your role. Again, looking at builds for what stats you should prioritize. So we go and slot in those two rings here, and that puts us already at just over 30,000 item level. You can see the total cost and the total item level on the bottom left there. We've spent absolutely nothing to get to 30,000 item level, and we can see with that, now we can access the advanced dungeon queue. Not that I recommend doing so. These dungeons in this queue, the Tomb of the Nine Gods, Castle Ravenloft, Lair of the Mad Mage, and the Avernus Citadel, are very challenging for newer players, and for being able to access them at 30,000 item level, in my opinion, is no way realistic. If you do want to check out those dungeons because you are now 30,000 item level, by all means do so, but join a guild, talk with people, and have them carry you through the dungeon. However, unfortunately at this point it's going to start costing us astral diamonds to upgrade our character further without seriously grinding. A lot of these things you can do in game by farming Juma bags, farming events when they come up, and just earning astral diamonds that way to buy what you need, and otherwise it's yes getting this rough astral diamonds to get the 100,000 every day. So the next step is go to the auction house up here. Go to your equipment tab, go to rings, and type in here item level 1300. Enter, and you can go and search, and there you go. Buy these rings. They are super dirt cheap. You can see they give you 1300 item level, which means we gain about a 600 item level boost by switching to these. These rings comes from the new zone. Unfortunately, if you didn't manage to unlock that while we had the 2-week grace period when you don't need an item level, now you will need a total of 45,000 item level to actually access this. So that was our step 12. Now we move on to step 13. Here again, go to your auction house, select your waste. Type in here, remove what you have done before, type in 1100, search, and buy these neck and waist pieces. They're only going to cost you about 10,000 astral diamonds, sometimes 15,000, depending if you craft them. You can of course craft them on, let's say, jewel crafting 20. Down here you'll be able to make them, but it'll be quite a grind to actually get your profession that high. So just go and buy them. You can see the neck and the waist. You can generally get them pretty cheap there, and they give you 1150 item level on +1, and otherwise just 1100. And we're replacing this 850 item level gear here, and there we go. And we get to just over 31,000 item level. Again, you can see the cost and the total item level of our build on the bottom left. We have a few things missing on this character, a few things that are a little bit off compared to a complete fresh character, but again the numbers will still be very close. So step 14, what you want to do now is go to the auction house, go down to companions here, select companions, go to quality, select epic, and click search. Here is where you're going to want to buy a bunch of companions, just 4 epic companions. You want to go and let's say buy the Energon, nice and cheap. You can slot that in your utility. You can buy the red cap, put in a defense or offense, and then you can go and buy the Cockatrice to put in your utility, or you could buy Liland to also put in your utility. Keep in mind when you look at your character, everybody will have one offensive slot, one defensive slot, and one utility slot. So make sure that when you buy those companions, you want to buy 4 epic companions. Again, you can see them on the auction house. You can scroll through here. There's loads of them out there and they all give bonuses. Just check these bonuses. And the market will vary so much, I can't just go and give suggestions now because their prices could get jacked up and throw off. Have a look around for yourself. But again, what you're ideally doing is equipping 4 of these epic companions. Again, you can auto rename how I do here. You press bind your companion, you press the character up there, then you press alt. And here in our companions tab, you then want to slot them in like we have here. We have a bunch of these companions and they're on epic, and we can see when they're on epic, they give us 300 item level. Make sure to replace your gray companion as well with another epic one, and there you go. You should have 300 item level on each of these companion bonuses here, including the companion enhancement and having an epic companion summoned. Again, that gives us another 1200 item level boost, so we should be jumping up there, as we can see, to nearly 32,500 item level. However, again, that's going to cost you, depending on what companions you buy, up to about 200,000 astral diamonds, since they can get up to about 50,000 astral diamonds on the more decent companions. Again, checking these equip powers and where they actually slot. So for step 15, you want to go to the refinement section, clear the quality here, put it on Annie, and type in combat. Here you should find a bunch of these packs, and you want to buy the legendary combat pack. You'll buy that for about 900,000 astral diamonds. Of course, the more the video goes on, the more expensive these will become as they get rarer and rarer. So be aware of that. You might have to spend more, but it can be very viable to buy these even if they cost you like 2 million. Once you have this pack, you can go and open it and you can see you have a wide selection there. Do not choose the companion enhancement. We already have one of those and it will not give you the item level boost as these other combats will give you. Now, if you're a DPS character, you probably want to just go with Poison Thorn. If you're a tank, you probably want to just go with Fortified Nature. If you're a healer, well, I guess there's Flash Freeze or like Soul Shield. Soul Shield's also good for DPS and tanks. Won't increase your damage, will help as a tank to give you damage reduction, but it'll basically save you on Scrolls of Life. If you die, you'll instantly be resurrected. Now, go ahead and claim your Combat Enchantment, and you can slot that in and it gives you a whopping 4,000 item level. That is such a bargain in terms of its price compared to the benefit in item level it gives you as a new player. You can see we're up to 36.5 thousand item level. That's a pretty massive jump. So step 16 will be buying some more enchantments to fill our empty slots. So we head back to our vendor here, and again you want to follow the same stat guide depending on what role and class you are to buy which enchantments. Just don't buy these bonus ones as they only give you a small percentage and no item level gain. So there's literally no benefit except for when you're in super end game to actually buy and rank up one of these. So we just buy a bunch of these garnets. You need 6 enchantments to go and slot them in our empty slots. We buy them there. We go back to our character sheet in the enchantment page and we can slot in those green enchantments. Each one will give you 300 item level. It's a pretty big boost. We should now see all 9 green ones here, including the green companion enhancement, giving you 300 item level each, along with our legendary combat enchantment at 4,000 item level. So now we're at 38,000 item level. We just need a small bit more to finally get us to 40,000 item level so we can access our trial queue and farm our rough astral diamonds much easier. So for step 17, you again want to go to the auction house, go to mounts, go to mount here, go to epic quality and just search. Here, you want to buy the cheapest epic mounts. We'll get the Siegebreaker Griffin, and well, yeah, that pretty much dominates on the cheapest there. However, you'll see a flail snail here. Many of you, I believe, will already have a flail snail from completing Ebon Downs. So don't go pick that one up as we already have it. You won't be able to equip it. You want to get the Ornate Apparatus of Gond for 80,000 Astral Diamond as the next cheapest one. So getting those epic mounts, you'll go and double click them and they'll be automatically bound. In your mount stable here then, you will want to make sure to swap them out and have them actually actually equipped here. Now, many of you will indeed already have one epic mount, which will be that flail snail from your adventure Ebon Downs, and you will also have the blue collar that goes with it, and you can have that adjacent to even your blue mount from the shimmering lockbox. And otherwise, you want to buy 2 more epic mounts, which I just went and said which ones to get, and you slot those in. Now what you want to do is go back to your auction house and you want to go to your mount collars. And here again we can search and you can buy a bunch of these collars. You can get them nice and cheap there. However, do not buy 2 of the same colors. If they say practical, you can only ever have 1 practical slotted. You can see my stable here on my character sheet. You can only have like 1 practical. Then you have to have a sturdy, a supportive, a unified, and a wayfaring. If you were to slot in another color of the same type, they would just cross each other out and you would gain no benefit from either of them. Now you can go and actually buy a pack as well. You can type in epic collar and there you can find these choice packs as well. If you don't find a nice cheap one, you can see these are selling for like 230 Astral Diamonds. So let's say we spend about 300,000 Astral Diamonds on each of these collars. Now you ideally have some collars that have a decent amount of use, like your sturdy one with encounter power damage, like your wayfaring with recharge speed or crit severity, and also your unified one with, let's say, movement speed or incoming healing. And once those 3 collars are slotted in with step 17, you should now be over 40,000 item level. We can check then our queues, and yes, we can now access our random trial queue. You do not have to have any of the content unlocked to be able to join it. I believe you guys are complaining about a bug right now, which automatically kicks you if the queue ends up in something you haven't unlocked yet. Not sure what the story is with that, but it should get fixed at some point. And here you can start farming Seals of the North along with rough Astral Diamonds. So we're going to end the video at this part 2. Part 3 will be getting finally to 80,000 item level by maxing out everything, spending all of your Astral Diamonds to get everything fully maxed out. First of all, you will have a few things you can do without spending Astral Diamonds to improve your gear score, and from there it will be just maxing out enchantments, maxing out mounts, maxing out companions, getting your gear maxed out, and from there it goes into optimizing your character. And part 3 will pretty much show you the maximum amount of costs you will have to put into your character to essentially get to end game in this game. So hopefully this was somewhat insightful to you guys, and good luck on that grind for getting your rough Astral Diamonds from your trial and advanced dungeon queues. Ideally, of course, you'll get your daily bonus, which will be about 40,000 rough Astral Diamonds, and if you're fulfilling a particular role, you'll even get a bonus. Now I'll go over a particular tip on how you can pretty much always get Rise of Tiamat as the trial whenever you're queuing into your random trial queue, and this can be very helpful to make sure you actually complete it nice and quickly. I'll also give a few tips in that video on how best to also complete Rise of Tiamat. Otherwise, I don't really recommend going into your advanced dungeon queue. All of the dungeons there are a bit too challenging. You could potentially complete Tomb of the Nine Gods, but even then that's still going to be quite a struggle, even Lair of the Mad Mage. But of course, you can always have your guild help you out and carry you a bit if you're, let's say, feeling a bit under optimized. So with that said, hopefully this was somewhat helpful to you guys. And if you've presented this well, consider leaving the video a like. If you're new around here, consider subscribing. We'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.